This is the Axopar 25, and though it may look like the Axopar 22, which very conveniently they've got right next to it here, it's actually a different hull. It's a longer boat. It's the same beam, but it is longer, and it also, importantly, has a cabin. So if we look at the 22, that's a full walk around. You see open bow, and you have a toilet compartment in there, and then actually aft they're very similar. This boat, you have a cabin, which we'll have a proper look at when we get on board. But that's the main difference between these two boats. The other thing is now, on the 22 and 25, you have the option of a hardtop. This 25 here has got the Bimini, as you can see, so that folds down out the way behind the seating there. But this is now an option. So if you want some fixed shade, fixed protection, then you can have this hardtop. Let's get on board and have a closer look at the 25. Now, a base model 25 you could probably get for around 80,000 euros, including VAT, but a high spec one you're probably looking at sort of 100,000 euros with VAT, with the largest 250 horsepower engine. The 250 horsepower Mercury is currently the largest engine you can have. There's whispers about them making a Brabus version of this boat, so that will obviously be more powerful, so they may just restrict the highest engine horsepower to 250 on this one, so it doesn't sort of nibble into the Brabus's performance. The layout back here is actually very similar to the 22, so you can either have this with just a bench, that transom bench there, you can have this U-shaped seating that we've got on this boat, or you can have what they call the multi-storage seating, where you have a cushion down the middle or a backrest down the middle and then storage underneath, and that's proving quite popular. There's actually one over on their Axopar Joby stand with that layout. Nice and easy boat to get on board. You have a good boarding ladder back there, and then you have actually quite a substantial split bathing platform, but you can also step into this area in front of the outboard here, so it's easy to get across from side to side. And what you notice, even though this isn't an enormous boat, is how deep the deck is. It feels very safe and secure, and it's great that you've got these railings on either side as well, so you've got plenty to grab onto as you move through the boat. And of course you can pick up the windscreen and the guardrails moving forward. Underneath my feet you have storage under here that lifts up to reveal a big storage void. You also have storage underneath the seats. That's pretty good for checking ropes and fenders into. There's also a lift up hatch here with a bit more storage as well. And actually there's a table that slots into that section there. You can actually drop that down, and then there are infill cushions there, so you can turn this into an enormous sun pad. Twin Helm Station. These seats will flip all the way around so that they can swivel and turn to meet the table if you want them to, but actually they're taken from the 28, the larger Axopars. They're a nice size and they bolster as well, so you can have that nice sort of leaning position at the helm. A helm that is quite simple, quite plain, but it's really easy to use and it's nice and clean as well. And you've got things like a charging point here. This is a control for your trim tabs. This particular boat's got a bow thruster, so there's a control for that there. Audio controls. You have a little run of switches on both sides as well for stuff that you're going to use regularly, and of course the Simrad MFD for navigation and engine information. Big windscreen. It's frameless but provides a lot of protection. It will actually slide up and down. It's in its lowest position now, but as you can see, you can slide it along that little run there, and you can raise it up if you want to have a bit more protection. But actually, I tested the Axopar 22 and it works really effectively. And then the key change about this boat over the 22 is that it now has a cabin. So we step down here, and this is your double berth, which is a pretty good size. Okay, you can't sit up, but for the odd night on board, it would do the job. You've got a bit of storage down both sides. You actually have a hatch overhead here. The cushions are in place on the foredeck at the moment, so you're not getting any light through there, but you've got some ventilation there. You've got speakers down here. You've got a little sink. You can clean your teeth down here. A bit of storage arranged up on the bulkhead here. This actually pops off, so you can take it off the boat if you want to. Your switchboard there, and then under here you have a proper sea toilet. So not super luxurious, but will do the job if you're out on the water and think, actually, let's stay out overnight. Well, this is going to do the job. And I like the fact that they've got some glazing up here as well, so you're getting as much natural light into this area as possible. But of course there's artificial light as well, and you've got some strip lighting running underneath this area. So of course the layout of the foredeck changes, given that you've got a cabin now. So you squeeze up past the Bimini, you have handrails here to grab onto, and then these aren't actually the cushions that will be on the final product. This is a prototype model. They're going to change a bit, but you get the idea. You've got a bit of sunbathing space up here, and even though the deck is a little bit shallow, you have at least got this guardrail to grab onto and steady yourself if you're making your way forward to put on the mooring lines or get up to the anchor. It's asymmetric to make the most of the space up here, and you've got this little walkway that leads you back down into the boat. As I said, there's a variety of outboard engine options on offer. The 250 is the largest, and the top speed with that is about 40-42 knots. You can cruise anywhere between sort of 20-35 knots. She'll cruise perfectly happily, I would imagine, if she's anything like the 22.